In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how we use email and SMS to maximize revenue during e-commerce sales and promotions. This strategy is something I've refined after running multiple hundred promotions with the clients at my agency, and it's a big part of the reason why we've been able to generate $40 million in revenue just with email. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to send, when to send it, what leading e-commerce brands do for their promotions, and how to squeeze the most revenue out of every single sale that you run. Alright, so this is the playbook for maximizing revenue during promotions with email and SMS. So how will this guide benefit you? Well, if you're running a big sale, chances are your customers are getting hit with a lot of other sales from other brands at that same time. And that obviously means the inbox gets crowded fast. Now, the problem with these brands running those sales is that most of them send like 2 or 3 emails. They see a spike in sales because of that, and then they call that a win. They're happy with that. But that spike in sales, that's often just a flaw of what's actually possible when you do things right. So what you'll see in this guide is the exact promo strategy I've used and still use at my agency to drive an extra 5, 6, and 7 figures in promotional revenue during these periods for e-commerce brands. So the first thing you want to do is build pre-sale anticipation, because one of the easiest ways to boost sales for a big promo is letting people know ahead of time that this promo is actually happening. So just 1 to 2 days before the promo goes live, you'll send a simple teaser email saying something like something big is coming, or mark your calendar for this specific date. Like, that's more than enough to get people interested and hyped. And you're not really trying to drive any sales yet, although you might even see some sales on that teaser email, because that's just the nature of email marketing. But you are really just trying to get on your audience's radar to kind of stay top of mind before the sale even starts, because that way, when your promo goes live, your audience is already halfway sold and way less likely to consider buying from your competitors. Here are 2 teaser emails. You can see exactly what those can look like, and you can see they're very simple. They're just kind of building awareness for what's coming up. They're not even selling you on anything. And if you want this document, by the way, and see all of the emails for yourself, I'm going to show you more examples throughout this video, but you can get this document for free in the link in the description. Now you've sent a teaser email. The next thing you want to do is go big on launch day. So this is the day that most people are ready to buy. So you don't really want to overthink this. It's not really super advanced. You just want to keep the email simple and direct. Your offer should be front and center in the email. You don't want to hide your offer behind like clever copy or vague language because you're trying to be super cute or funny in the email header. You just want to use a straightforward header title like save 25% site wide or buy one get one free. People should know exactly what the deal is within 2 seconds of opening your email. They shouldn't have to look around within the email to see exactly what the offer or the deal is. You also want to place a big CTA, call to action, above the fold. You don't want to have people forced to scroll down to click through to your website. You can also include some products or product categories for people to browse exactly what they want faster down in the bottom section of the email. But this is really the only thing you need to do for the launch day. Here are some launch day email examples. You can see again how simple they are. You're putting the offer front and center, like I mentioned. It's impossible to miss what the offer is as soon as you open up the email, and it's very easy to click through to the website. You don't want to put any friction in these emails. You want to make it super simple to understand exactly what the offer is. And that's pretty much that. You don't need to do anything more. Now, something you can do if you're a bit aggressive with your strategy is that you can send a second launch email. So on the same day of your first launch email, later in the day, you can send a second launch email and see a nice extra lift in orders placed. So that first sale launch email we just went over, that would be sent in the AM, such as like 9 AM or 10 AM or whatever. The second launch email would then be sent in the PM, such as 5, 6, or 7 PM. Those are kind of like the main time frames you want to stay around or stick to. A few ways you can approach the second launch email is just a simple resend of the first launch email with like slightly tweaked copy. It could literally just be the header title, which is changed. And another way is a resend that simply swaps product blocks for customer reviews. Then everything else can be the same as the first email. Or you can obviously do a fresh email design with other images and other copies, so it's basically a whole new email. Or you can even do like a plain text email that says something like the sale is now live, here's the offer, here's a link to it, all of that. Obviously want to make sure you exclude recent purchasers, people that purchased from that first initial launch email. You don't want to send them a second launch email. With that said, not every brand needs to send 2 emails on day 1, and you don't need to do so for every sale. I would not recommend that you do that for every single sale. However, it is an easy way to drive additional revenue without much extra work. So I definitely recommend you try this for one of your biggest sales. Here are just some quick examples of those second launch emails that you can send. And as you'll see, they could pretty much just work as that first launch email as well. But I would recommend that you just freshen up the email design a little bit so it's not identical to the first one you sent earlier in the day, but pretty much it's the exact same principles that apply here. Keep the offer front and center. You're basically just giving people another chance later in the day to see your email. all right, you've launched the sale and orders are ticking in. So now you want to keep reminding people that your sale is live, because otherwise a lot of people just won't even know that your sale is live. Not everyone will open your launch email. Not everyone will open your first reminder email. So the best strategy here is mixing direct offer reminder emails with content-driven reminder emails. So direct offer reminder emails, these emails are super simple, direct, and focused purely on the offer. Again, kind of like the launch emails that you saw. That's kind of the vibe we're going for here. So you can highlight the savings, you can highlight what they get, and you can add in urgency like countdown timers and make the deadline clear. And for the content-driven reminder emails, these are emails focused on obviously content and value instead of just like showing the offer and saying buy from us, please. However, even with these emails, you still want to mention that your sale is live or somehow show that your sale is still ongoing. And you can do this with a small banner at the top of the email or a section at the bottom of the email that talks about the offer. The key when it comes to these reminder emails is variety. Like you want to keep showing up, you want to keep reminding people and keep giving them reasons to buy without sending the same boring message over and over. It will get boring if you only plug your offer at the top of every single email. You want to keep it interesting and fresh, because that's how you make the most of every single day that your sale is live. And here are two examples of direct offer reminder emails. You can see on the left side, you can go a bit more in depth, go a bit more in detail, or as on the right side, you can go super simple, literally just do like a header image and a CTA. And here we've got two content-driven reminder emails. So you can see on the left side, it's an email talking about the product with some product education and some benefits. But placed around the call to action here, you can see the Labor Day sale with the offer plugged still. So you're still reminded about the sale, even though the email is about something else entirely. And on the right side, there's a much simpler version of this. So on top, you can see there's a banner saying end of summer sale up to 35% off site wide. And then the email itself is still talking about the product or like how the product is made and why this product is so special. So this is a great way of keeping your emails interesting while still getting people to buy because of your sale. Now, when you get to the last day of your sale, you don't want to be one of those people that think, I might as well not send any more emails. I've already told people about this sale for the last week or so. No one's going to care anymore. They already know what's going on, because the final day of your sale can often outperform your launch day and all other emails regarding this sale. People who've been on the fence finally make a decision when they know the deal is about to disappear. You know, us humans, we're very FOMO based. So you just want to send a clear last chance email with the offer, again, front and center. Don't hide it behind anything. And you also want to add a clear deadline, whether that's 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever. Here you can also go even more aggressive and send a final hours email later in the day and a last chance earlier in the day, right? Again, if you want to be more aggressive, I wouldn't do that for every single brand. You can do that specifically around like your biggest sales, either throughout the year or like Black Friday, whatever, something like that. And here are some tips for the last chance email. So countdown timers, they work incredibly well for adding urgency. You also want to keep the offer visible in the header, like I mentioned before. And you can also highlight bestsellers to speed up those obviously purchasing decisions. Because again, people are feeling rushed. They're obviously ready to spend their own money. They know this is kind of like the last chance I get. I don't have much time to consider what I'm actually going to buy. So I might as well just buy what other people love. Some subject line inspiration could be sale ends in 5 hours or last chance to save, hurry, sale ends tonight, or last day, it's now or never. And here are some last day email examples that you can send on that last day of your sale. So you can see on the left side, they're using a countdown timer, which obviously is counting down. This is just a picture of the email. So obviously here it's not counting down, but when you're actually opening the email in your inbox, it would be counting down to 0. And you can use some different, obviously, softwares for that. But you can see the offer is again front and center, very clear. And they're just plugging some other stuff for you to click on to kind of help speed up the decision. Same thing on the right side. Here, they're not using a countdown timer, which you don't need to do for every single time you're ending a sale, because again, you don't want to keep it super repetitive, but they work well. But you can see they're also plugging products. So that's a pretty good tip for your last chance emails. Now, before I dive into the SMS marketing aspect of this, I want to give you some more pro tips to squeeze out even more revenue. So a thing you can do is go harder on your prospects, meaning people that haven't shopped with your brand yet. And for that reason, you can afford to be a bit more aggressive with them and send them more emails than you do to your active customers. Because if these people unsubscribe, you're not actually losing a customer, right? So you're not really losing much value there. And another tip is that you want to cast a wider net on launch day and the last day. So what I mean by that is that you can take these launch emails and last chance emails and send them to either your full list or just a wider segment than you usually do to reach as many people as possible, because these are your most important emails of the sale. So for those reminder emails, then you can use those to kind of send to an even tighter engaged segment to build up your deliverability again, in case you got a bit like lower open rates on those launch emails and stuff like that. Another thing you want to do is watch your open rates closely when you're running a sale while you're sending a lot of emails. So for reminder emails, we typically aim for 45% open rates to obviously protect our deliverability and sender reputation. If open rates drop below that, you can tighten your segment for the next email, right? So it's very simple, just keep an eye out on that. And you also want to take advantage of plain text emails. They feel personal, they're very easy to create, which obviously is a good bonus. You don't need to do any design, and they work well for urgency pushes during a sale. And last thing you can do is show slashed prices, where you basically highlight the discount visually on products in your email to make the deal feel even more real and easier to understand. All right, so SMS is a very powerful way to maximize revenue during a sale, but it's also quite expensive, so you don't want to overdo it or do it the wrong way. So the way to go about it is focus on the timings that will have the biggest impact, which typically will be the launch day, where you send an SMS announcing the sale, the offer, and potentially the discount code if there's a discount code for people to use. And also the last chance SMS, where obviously on the final day or the day before, you want to send an SMS kind of calling out the fact that this sale is about to end to catch more last minute buyers, just like you do with the email, right? You can also add a couple of reminder SMS sends during the sale, such as reminding people of how many days are left of the sale, announcing stock is low on a certain bestseller to drive more urgency, or even featuring like a favorite product during that sale, like a product that's hot right now and selling during that promo. Now, another more advanced tactic, I guess, is that you can target people who clicked through one of your sale emails but didn't actually go ahead and purchase. And then you send them a special SMS with a special offer that's even better than what you're currently running in that promo to kind of push them over the line. So if you're running a sale with 30% off for, let's say, Labor Day, then you send them a 40% discount code saying something like, hey, we noticed you clicked. Here's something to help you kind of get the product you want or get this certain benefit or whatever. Obviously make it a bit better than that, but a quick example. So that could help you squeeze out a lot more revenue. But obviously you want to be mindful of that, kind of how to go about that, and make sure you're only targeting people that haven't purchased before, right? With that, at least I would. And then also you want to keep your SMS copy short and direct to save on credits, because again, SMS is expensive, especially if you're sending longer SMS messages. It is very rarely worth it trying to be super creative with your SMSs. Just keep it direct and clear for people to understand exactly what's going on. And here are two quick SMS examples. You can see exactly what I mean with the fact that you need to keep your SMS copy simple and sweet and concise. Again, you can pause this video to look at it, or you can download the document down below for free, but this is exactly how you do this. Now I want to do something quite interesting and show you some promo strategies from top brands and show you exactly what they're sending, how long they're running the sale for, what kind of sale they're running, and what their emails look like. So the first promo we're breaking down here is from the brand 3 Ships, and the promo they ran was a birthday sale, which was 20% off plus free gifts above a certain dollar threshold. So when you order above this amount, you also get some free gifts. The promo duration here was from March 14th to March 21st. And here are the exact emails they sent. So again, you can pause this video or download the document to kind of look at this deeper yourself. But you can see they ran a sale launch email on obviously the day that they launched the sale, a reminder email, another reminder email, and a third reminder email, and then a last chance email. So they ran this sale for about a week. I personally, and for my clients, we've seen it be way more worth it to run, like when you're running a sale for this short amount of time, it is worth it to send an email every single day. Again, not all of those emails need to go to the exact same segments. Some of them could be going to just prospects, because again, you can be a bit more aggressive with those. But overall, you can see they're keeping the emails very simple. They're not trying to be super fancy. They do something interesting here where obviously in the beginning, first emails, they're kind of highlighting the offer very well. Then over here, they're highlighting Drew Barrymore's favorite serum, which obviously is an interesting way to kind of, again, position the sale or just show off your sale by including some other stuff than just, hey, this is our offer, that's it, right? And then at the end here, again, they keep it very focused on the offer and urgency, because that's what works. The next promo we're breaking down here is from the brand Lemmy, where they ran a New Year, New You sale with 15% off site-wide, and they ran that from December 26th to January 2nd. And they also ran 5 emails in total here. Now, something interesting they did is that every single email here was very offer-driven. you don't really see any of these emails starting out with like any product education or something super fun. So this also works, and this also is a great approach. And that's always something I would recommend you test. So obviously the sale, again, isn't a super long sale. It's like a week or so. So they don't need to get super fancy with their emails and do a lot of fun stuff and product education, because they don't have a lot of days to even play with. Here, they're just making sure that their entire email list knows that this sale is live, because you've now received 5 emails throughout a week's time with the offer front and center. So that's also something you can do. And I would recommend that you as a brand or agency or whatever you are watching this video, that you test for different certain promos, whether content-driven reminders work super well for you or very aggressive offer reminders work for you. And now we're looking at a promo breakdown from Dr. Squatch, where we look at their 4th of July sale, where they ran a 20% off plus free shipping offer. They ran that from June 27th to July 7th. So a bit of a longer time. But what you'll notice here is that they sent a lot of more emails compared to the other promos we just looked at. So they had a teaser email here, the first one we've looked at, hold on to your hot dogs, very fun. And you can see it's very simple as well. And it obviously ties into the 4th of July sale. Then they launched the email. Then they have a reminder email where they also use a plain text email. Then they have a reminder email 2, also a plain text email. So again, they're going hard on plain text here, because why wouldn't you? You're sending a lot of emails. It's not a lot of resources. It doesn't require a lot of resources for you to set up a plain text email, and they convert so well. So definitely try them out. Then they send another reminder email and a plain text email for reminder email 4. Then they send an email 5, an email 6, an email 7, again, just for reminder emails. And again, another plain text email, reminder email 9, and then a last chance email. So you can see they're going very hard on the frequency here, because they're looking to absolutely maximize revenue for their promo. And they're not sending boring emails. They're quite interesting. And again, whenever they do design the emails, it looks like they're very much wanting to highlight the offer, which again is a great approach for this. And then they also do plain text emails to keep it interesting. So that's definitely something I'd suggest you try as well. Now you know how to absolutely crush it with email and SMS marketing during promotions. But one of the best ways to make these promos really pay off is by sending these promo emails to way more people, and you do that by growing your email list. So go watch this video to learn how to double or triple the growth of your email list. I'll see you there.